You're watching 5 Star Live. East Tennessee's #1 post-game high school football show. Live on location from the biggest game of the week. Live interviews from the winning coaches and players, along with highlights from other big games from around Tennessee. Your host, Jesse Smithy, with decades of experience covering high school sports, and his 5-star preps team will update you on games as they become final, and will break down region outlooks and what's to come for your favorite football teams and top players. Now, get ready for the most comprehensive high school football coverage in Tennessee on 5 Star Live.
All right, everybody, welcome into 5 Star Live right here at Citra High School, where the Bobcats finished off Bolton tonight 21-9, joined by Caleb Fortner, linebacker, and now tight end, like a hybrid tight. Like, what are you now on offense?
I don't know. I'm becoming a little offensive star out here.
Yeah, I saw you.
Got me at the H-back position.
I saw you last week down there at Cleveland making some
sir.
plays, and tonight getting out in the offense, slipping out through there and
Yes,
making
sir.
some plays. So how fun is that for you, getting to kind of show some versatility
Yes,
this year?
sir. It really is pretty fun. You know, making those plays on defense, everybody knows I can do it, and getting the chance to make some on offense, you know, it's really fun, and I'm just glad I'm able to make those plays.
You know, when I talked to Bryson Rosser, I think when y'all won your second straight championship last year down in Cookeville, I feel like I remember him kind of hinting at you might be playing some offense this year. Does it go back that far?
Really, I mean, I was in the mix a lot last year, believe it or not. I mean, like that state game, I was playing H-back as well and some fullback, but, you know, we had some great guys in my 4 years of high school playing, you know, on offense, so I didn't get to get in the mix in, but now I am.
I just remember him kind of hinting at you're going to be a little bit more prominently used this year. But to come out tonight and get another win, looking back to week 1 and then moving into week 2, like what was the 1 or 2 things you guys wanted to improve upon?
Really, kind of the points. But as you can see, we kind of struggled a little bit, but we got some points on the board. But it's really just focus and attention to detail and the little things, just cleaning those up.
Yeah, we were talking, my co-host Kevin Smith and I, during the game, is like I have to keep reminding myself that, like you mentioned, there were some offensive struggles, but you have a new quarterback, you have a new offensive coordinator, you got a new head coach, you didn't have scrimmages or 7-on-7. Has that been difficult to get adjusted to?
It really has, but at the same time, you know, we're making do, and we're actually coming out really well and executing very well. So really hasn't bothered us that much, really.
Ryan Bolton was great last year as a punter, and now he steps in there to the quarterback position. And what do you like about his game?
He's very young, but he pays attention to detail really well. He believes in everybody beside him and in front of him, and we take care of him just like he's our brother. We got to take care of him at the quarterback position. You
guys made some headlines this summer.
Yes, sir.
You and your brother committing to Army.
Yes, sir. And
to already have that out of the way and that commitment out of the way, just how much of a relief is that for you?
It really is a big relief. You know, we just come out here and, you know, have a ball on Friday nights. There's no stress. There's just go out and every game. I mean, I'm a leader, but I'm also a role player at the same time. You know, coming out here and playing some offense and doing my job on defense as well.
Blocking for him down there on the goal line. I mean, it seemed like you took a lot of pride in that.
That's right. I love doing it for him. I mean, I love seeing him have success, and you know, that's my brother. I love to see him have success, like I said.
Last thing, and we're going to have Nick Craney up here, and Liam Fortner's on the set as well. But looking ahead to next week, Sevier County, a team that likes to pass it a lot. Probably going to be some adjustments maybe with how y'all approach that game?
Yes, sir. I believe so. You know, defense, we love to blitz me off the edge, but I think I might have to stay back in coverage quite a bit next week and maybe get a pick 6 here and there.
All right. Well, good to have goals.
Yes,
Caleb,
sir.
good to see you as always.
Have a
Yep.
good one.
Let's pass it off to Nick Craney. Got his first win tonight at home. He debuted last week down at Cleveland High School, got his first win as head football coach, and now win number 2 under your belt. Nick, congratulations. And to get your first win in front of your home crowd, what did that feel like tonight?
Yeah, it felt awesome. You know, especially being this game, especially being the Battle of Broadway. That one always means something a little more. And we always get their best game, too.
Difficult week for you. Congratulations. Y'all just had another child. I mean, that's a lot to do in 1 week.
Yeah, it is. It's been a nonstop week, but it's been awesome. And our daughter Carolina Jane and my wife Brooke are doing well. And you know, they're watching from home tonight. They didn't get to make it to this one. 4 days old is a little young for the first game.
Yep.
But they're doing well. And honestly, this week has been a great week. It's been a lot of celebration, even though it has been busy. Even though Kara didn't sleep like at all last night, but we've been able to make it work.
I know that struggle. My daughter did not sleep whatsoever her first year, so I feel your pain on that. But it also puts you in a position where you're gaining a little more trust or putting more responsibility on your assistant coaches, I assume, this week.
Yeah, for sure. And they've done a phenomenal job picking up the slack for me. Not being there or being there, right as practice started, or and they did a great job preparing our guys. I can't say enough about that group of guys, that how well they did in preparing our kids.
Jared, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and roll some highlights from this game, and maybe we can kind of talk about what we're seeing. But what did you see improved out of Fulton as opposed to 2019?
Out of Fulton, they were I said it to somebody early in the week. They look on film a whole year older. Compared to last year, and they are. They didn't graduate very many off of that team last year, but they look bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic. That's a good football team. Yeah,
they got an early interception, kind of gave them a little bit of momentum, but what we're seeing out of Liam Fortner, and that's Liam Fortner right there, and of course he's about to take it 46 yards for a touchdown. What we're seeing out of him this year is really kind of his breakout moment. I mean, he had a good year last year, but he's just a different player now.
He is, and he's done a phenomenal job. And we knew that he was capable of that, and honestly capable of it a year ago. We had 4 other skill guys that were seniors last year that finished the season with over 1,000 all-purpose yards besides him. And so it's been really awesome to see him step into that role that we knew that he would be stepping into, and he knew he was going to step into, and really not shy away from it and take on that role to be the guy.
But we're starting to see even Caleb get out in the pass game. We saw it last week against Cleveland. We saw him catch a ball just a second ago, and here he is right here slipping through.
Yep. So, getting both of them involved on the offensive side, and really getting Liam involved on the defensive side, helps us tremendously. I mean, those two are very, very good football players. They're phenomenal kids, but on the field, we want those guys on the field as much as they can, and they've done more work than anybody in preparing for this season. That they're, from a conditioning standpoint, there's nobody who's ready to go 2 ways more than the Fortner twins.
Fulton comes out, they get a little bit of momentum there. They drive down the field, they kick the field goal, kind of cut into the lead a little bit. It's 14-3, I believe, at this point. And then this young man right here, tell us about Will Syway.
Yeah, Will Syway is a great kid, a tremendous athlete, which was on display today. He's done such a good job working to put himself in a position to be successful. Has got tremendous upside and made some plays today. Had a couple more plays that were on the cusp of being made that he is looking forward to having more opportunities to go make. And so he's going to be that guy that can give us a spark in the passing game and in the kicking game, and just a tremendous athlete and a great kid.
Last thing before I let you out of here, and we'll pass the mic off to Liam, but I asked this to Caleb. I have to keep reminding myself that you guys didn't have scrimmages or 7-on-7. You got a new quarterback, new offensive coordinator. Just how do you assess where you guys are with that? With this being technically a second scrimmage.
Yeah, I think we're in decent shape right now. We found a way to win the first 2 games. We've got a lot of little things to fix. I think from week 1 to week 2, we fixed some of the little things. In week 1, we gave up a lot of big plays in the passing game, being just a little bit out of position. We did a much better job of that tonight. Until the last play of the game, gave up a big one the last play of the game, gave up 1 or 2 other medium-range passes that led to the field goal. Improvement, but there's still a lot of room to grow on everything. Offensively, we scored 21. We had the ball inside of the 35 probably 5 times that didn't come away with anything. A couple missed field goals, a couple 4th down attempts. Learning how to capitalize and finish, which is part of being young. We're a young football team. So we're excited about what they've done, but we still have a lot of work to do.
Well, Nick, congratulations again on your first home win, and best of luck to you guys next week at Sevier County. We'll pass the mic off to Liam, and kind of our MVP of the game, man. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
We talked with you on this set last year during the regular season, I believe, after Seymour. And you kind of had a breakout moment in that game, but now how far do you feel like you've come as a player? We're seeing you run the Wildcat. We're seeing you, house 46, 50-yard touchdown passes, and just how much have you grown, not only physically, but just everything that involves football over the last year?
Yes, sir. You know, I've always been surrounded by some really good athletes, and I progressed as an athlete myself, just watching them and really mirroring my play around them. And you know, thankfully, we got some young guys. At the same time, thankfully, unfortunately, but we got some young guys that need to grow up, and I'm really taking control of this offense this year, and I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it.
Were you going to play Wildcat quarterback before Jaden got hurt? 'Cause I know when we talked with Nick back in the summer media day, I know that he had some plans to possibly play Jaden Horton, who's an all-state safety, but broke his collarbone. And were you planning to play any Wildcat before that?
You know, actually, I was not. I was full-time receiver, but you know, it's really sad that he went down like that, and I just stepped in, just took his position at Wildcat quarterback.
Had you ever been back there as a quarterback before, maybe in youth leagues growing up?
Yes, sir. Youth league. I was QB1, and I actually had an arm then.
Okay.
Accuracy's not
okay.
as good now.
Well, I was just thinking that you ran for over 100 last week. You know, you had some success running the football tonight. As teams start to key on you running the football, are we going to see the arm get stretched out a little bit, you think?
No, I really think we should, because they're stacking the box. I mean,
yeah,
there's only so much I can do. So I'd really like to open it up, maybe throw it to my little brother on a little
your little brother.
You gotta mess with him.
Yeah.
On a little hot route or just a slant, maybe just to keep them honest. So hopefully we can open that up and start practicing throughout the week.
Y'all are playing a lot of snaps both ways, and I know y'all attacked it in the weight room. Just how hard did you guys grind in there during quarantine and everything to get prepared for this?
Quarantine, you know, that was Monaco's time to shine. We locked ourselves in the gym basically, and we have a passion of working out. So we progressed a lot. We got stronger, faster, and then just when summer started, team workouts, we really led our team in the weight room, and that was really fun. So we really got stronger during quarantine.
Last thing with you, and we're talking with Liam Fortner, star wide receiver, defensive back, quarterback, everything for Central, to win 2 state titles and going into your senior year. You start off 2-0, and I know the offseason wasn't ideal, but you guys are in a really good position right now.
Yes, sir, I agree. We still got a lot of stuff to clean up throughout the week of practice, week by week, but you know, offensively we're looking pretty sharp for being week 2. You know, you really see a lot of sloppy teams early in the season offensively, but defensively we're still figuring it out, getting guys where they need to be, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing right now from our central team.
Well, Liam, congratulations. We'll give you a fist bump.
Yes, sir.
Player of the game. Central wins 21-9. Hey, we want you guys being interactive on the show, all you guys out there watching on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. So we're going to unveil another trivia question tonight. Maybe hook you up with some pizza. Let's roll that trivia question.
Pizza Haas presents East Tennessee High School Trivia. If you know the answer to the question, tweet it and use the hashtag 5StarLive, and you could win a $25 gift card to Pizza Haas Neighborhood Pizza Pub. Tonight's trivia question is, what player from last year's South Doyle football team signed with an SEC school? Know the answer? Tweet it and use the hashtags 5StarLive, and we will randomly select the winner from those with correct answers. Thanks for playing Trivia with 5 Star Live and Pizza Haas.
They had an opportunity, Jesse, coming out, getting the ball first in the second half, driving down the field, kicking a field goal, making it 14-3, giving themselves a chance, and then the kickoff return right after that, it just broke their back. Game was over at that point.
And Will Syway, as a kid, we came out to see Central in the preseason. We couldn't see scrimmages or 7-on-7, so we had to learn about these teams by just coming out to practice. And Will Syway's name was one of the very first names we heard about. He was ineligible last year, and they still won the championship without that kid. And we watched him in practice. He looked phenomenal. And then tonight we start to see him blossom. And I can only imagine they're going to get
athletes. They got two good kickers. They got a great punter and their quarterback. They got a great kicker. When they have the special teams that they have, you're going to have to game plan for that, and what a luxury for Central to have, especially when you get in the playoffs when you need that field position and big plays.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how they continue to progress. Again, we'll see them week 3 at Sevier County. And I got a question for you, and I brought this up with Liam Fortner when he was up here. We're seeing him run the ball continuously out of the Wildcat. You being a former defensive coordinator, I'm sure you faced the Wildcat some. Are they going to have to throw the football with Liam Fortner to as you go forward through the season? Are they going to have to throw the football out of that look?
You know, a lot of people think you do. And obviously, at some point, you need to show it just so the defense can play honest. But I'll tell you what, it's really hard as a defensive coach to defend the Wildcat, especially when they're running as much zone read as they were, faking jet sweeps, because they have a hat for a hat. You don't have an extra tackle. As defensive coaches, we're always trying to get an extra hat where you can't block them. When you're running Wildcat and the quarterback's running the football, it's very difficult to tackle that guy. Yeah. And, you know, for Liam, he was falling forward all night long.
Yeah, I mean, even when they keyed on it and they seemed to have it snuffed out, I mean, he still got 5 yards.
Yes.
So, I mean, he's got a good forward lean to him, and just that added strength that he got this offseason really paid off.
And I think for him, as he will improve, again, no scrimmages, out of that Wildcat, there were some times at night where he tried to bounce to the outside. When he continues to watch film and he really starts to hit inside his pulling guards and tackles on the traps and the counters, this young man is going to hit it up in the hole. And we always told our guys, the quickest way to a point's a straight line. When he hits that straight line, and he's going to get better at that with his vision, this is going to be a very hard thing to stop for defensive coaches with this Central club.
Last thing, Fulton going forward. They're 0-2 right now. They were 3-8 a year ago. You can see the progress. They're bigger. They're stronger from last year. Not a lot of depth, but you can see some progress. What do they need to get better at from what you saw tonight?
Well, first of all, as a coach, you know, for them, I would be happy about the toughness. They didn't quit tonight. It was not going their way at all. They were really struggling offensively. Love seeing them come out in the second half, getting the ball first, driving it down the field, showing that, I mean, they were here to play. I think for them, they've got a really good defensive line, but the problem is they're playing both ways. And they're going to have to give those guys a spell if they can, just a couple of plays here and there, and then the quarterback to get comfortable with his wide receivers. I think that's the big thing. They missed so many opportunities. They had wide open receivers, had some drops. They had opportunities to score tonight, and when they connect, they're going to be a dangerous football team because they do have speed. They got a quarterback who can throw the ball, get a little bit more consistent in the run game, and give those guys a break here and there. They've got some pieces to do some damage.
I think we'll see Tommy Sweat finally get to the point where mentally he can let it loose. He had a horrific injury last year on his ankle, cost him the last few games of the year. He just got pounded last year as they were a young football team, missed a lot of his basketball season. He's a great basketball player. And coming back this year, it was supposed to be a 2-horse race again for the quarterback position. Well, the guy who was in the competition with him, he got hurt. He's out for the year. You can tell at times that Tommy Sweat knows he can't go down and get hurt again.
Yeah, and we were touching it on all night. You're absolutely right. They need him to be successful, and they need him to sit in that pocket, and it can get difficult. Hey, Central Central's got some guys coming off the edge tonight that are very prolific at rushing the passer, so I completely understand it. And we had some drops tonight. But you can see the talent. You can see the arm talent. You can see that he can spin the football. When they get more comfortable, again, get more reps, we're still sitting here talking about no scrimmages, no 7-on-7s. Wide receivers and quarterbacks are really off right now, and offenses typically are behind the defense anyway. So when they settle down, you can see the pieces there for Fulton to really do some damage, and some guys that, you want that home run ability, Jesse, and Fulton's got some home run ability, and I think they're going to show it later in the season.
Well, best of luck to Fulton and Central as well going forward through the rest of this season. There have been some squirrely results tonight. We're going to get to that in just a minute. We're going to look around the area, go look at some highlights from other games, check in on some scores. We're going to take a quick break. Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to have Powell coach Matt Lowe on the Waffle House Hotline.
Cooper Container, your corrugated packaging specialist for the East Tennessee area. Proud sponsor of high school sports in the 5-star preps coverage area.
Great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never question. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.
It's great. I mean, I love worshiping and learning about God and learning better ways to be a man of God.
There's no way that you can come here and your relationship with Jesus and not get stronger. It's just so powerful. The Holy Spirit is just so powerful at this camp.
I just feel like this is a lot more than just like people coming together and having fun. Like, it just helps people grow towards Christ.
You're watching 5-Star Live. East Tennessee's #1 post-game high school football show. Live on location from the biggest game of the week. Live interviews from the winning coaches and players, along with highlights from other big games from around Tennessee. Your host, Jesse Smithy, with decades of experience covering high school sports, and his 5-star preps team.
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the
You're watching 5-Star Live. East Tennessee's #1 post-game high school football show. Live on location from the biggest game of the week. Live interviews from the winning coaches and players, along with highlights from other big games from around Tennessee. Your host, Jesse Smithy, with decades of experience covering high school sports, and his 5-star preps team will update you on games as they become final, and will break down region outlooks and what's to come for your favorite football teams and top players. Now, get ready for the most comprehensive high school football coverage in Tennessee on 5-Star Live.
All right, everybody, welcome back into 5-Star Live. Jesse Smithy here on site at Central High School, where the Bobcats just polished off Fulton 21-9. Last night in 5A, though, a 5A program in Powell got everything it wanted up at Anderson County, but still found the wherewithal to come back and rally on the road, win 31-29. We're now joined by Powell football coach Matt Lowe on the Waffle House hotline. Matt, 24 hours removed now from that game. Just how exhaustive was that game emotionally, mentally, everything?
Everything that you just described is pretty much what happened. From the highs of the first quarter to, so many of the lows and the drag and the inconsistency of, especially that third quarter to the unbelievable high of the play that was made there with 2 minutes to go by the entire offense, but especially made by sophomore Jordan Potts and finished off by Jason Faust. Just unbelievable effort all across the board. And, but at the same time, everything you just described is exactly what happened. That, I think every coach on the staff was dripping sweat. It was one of those muggy nights. And, man, what a roller coaster of emotion.
When you have a game like that, do you immediately get back to Powell and break it down? Do you wait until Saturday or Sunday? Have y'all gone back and watched that film again?
We did. We stayed as a staff last night, went ahead and broke it down and looked at things. Obviously we know we've got district play, region play coming up, and so we wanted to get a little bit ahead. But, there were certainly some major things we've got to get fixed. So we wanted to have at least a good idea, be able to identify those things as we start heading forward and as we try to prepare for the stretch run, really.
What are a few things that you like about this team? I have to remember there's still a lot of sophomores out there offensively at the skill position spots. I know they played a lot of football last year, but what do you like about this team right now?
Well, obviously the overall athleticism of this group is unbelievable. There's a lot of really talented kids. And really there's talented kids on both sides of the football. There's talented kids within the interior, offensive and defensive line, and certainly in the skill position. But, that's part of what drives you crazy as a coach sometimes. There's a lot of young, talented kids out there, and they're going to make young guy mistakes, just simple situations that you feel like you've gone over. But all of a sudden, something happens during a game, and now you've got to overcome that situation as well. You love the athleticism, you love the talent, but you still got to teach them a lot of football as you go through it.
Let's talk about your quarterback, Jordan Potts. Of course, I know he had a lot of success in middle school, and he had to kind of wait his turn to take over as quarterback. He's a sophomore now, but not having those 7-on-7s and not having those scrimmages, was that unnerving for you as a former quarterback, as the head coach, to really not know how Jordan's going to perform under the gun?
Well, it really is. And, this has been such a different, preseason for everybody in high school football. I've talked to so many college coaches, and I've told them, I don't know how you guys do it. The first game out is the first time you get live action. For us at the high school level, it's usually at least 2, if not 3 scrimmages, a jamboree. So you've got multiple times to send your guys out there, and you've got a really good idea how they're going to respond versus the other opponent. For everybody in high school, we're all experiencing the same way this year. That first game was the first time you've seen live action by any of these guys making that jump from either backup to starter or from role player, maybe now to, superstar or a guy that's going to be counted on, to score touchdowns and make big plays. And so we're all still learning our team. First, second week, we're still learning these guys. Normally this would be the second scrimmage for most of us, but these games really count. So, there are a lot of adjustments that are going to continue on, not only through these first 2 games, but really through the first half of the season for everybody.
But when you look at what all's been thrown at Jordan Potts, back in week 1, he gets off to a hot start throwing the football. Lightning delays happen. Come back, Beach gets back in the game. They take the lead. Jordan Potts throws a touchdown pass with 5 seconds left. Then last night, Anderson County starts running the ball effectively. They regain the lead, and then you see Jordan Potts with that unbelievable scramble and throw to J.J. Faust. And the fact that he's already seen such adversity through the first 2 weeks, he has to derive a lot of confidence from that.
Yeah, he does, and we have confidence in him. I don't think there's anybody in the huddle after these last 2 weeks that ain't going to be extremely confident in Jordan Potts taking a snap. What he's done these last 2 weeks is, there's really no measuring stick for it. You can't draw it up. You have a first-time starter lead 2 fourth-quarter drives, one of them with 2 minutes to go, one of them with 5 seconds to go to lead his team to victory. What he's done, the magic he's kind of created, you don't want to downplay it because you don't know if it's ever going to happen again. He's been absolutely unbelievable, especially late in ball games, and he's been consistent throughout those ball games. We're extremely excited about him and the supporting cast around him. But at the same time, we've got to find more consistency, not only at quarterback, but at every position that we have. We've got to find ways to do that. But the plays that he's been making late in ball games, they're unbelievable when you sit back and look at this as a first-year starter. These are his first 2 ball games that you've had. For him to make those kind of plays tells you a lot about, what type of character he has. But, on top of that, he's got a little bit of magic somewhere. I don't know where it comes from, but it's inside of him.
I made a preseason prediction. I said Jordan Brown's going to be All-State this year, and we got to get him going, man. We got to get him some numbers. Is he playing more on defense right now for you guys?
Well, he started every game on defense the last 2 years, and so obviously he's playing, so many snaps on defense. We've got a little rotation going on offense, so he's certainly going to continue to get carries. He's going to continue to get those carries up. Right now, you take what the defense gives you, and a lot of times, at least those first 2 ball games, defense are trying to create one-on-one matchups with receivers, really stacking the box versus us. So, make it simple. You take what they give you, and that's what you're going to do.
I don't think I'd want a one-on-one matchup with Adarius Redmond and Aiden Green and Jaden Collins and J.J. Faust. I mean, you guys have so many, and I know it even goes deeper than that, so many receivers to trot out at people.
There are, and we are truly blessed, to have the depth that we do at the receiver position, to also have the depth that we do at the running back position. It's incredible right now, and it's a lot of fun, and it's trying to find ways to distribute the ball and get guys touches and trying to find ways for playmakers to be able to go make plays. So it doesn't hurt any for Jordan Potts that he's got a couple of options around him.
Well, Matt, thanks so much for joining us on 5 Star Live right here on the Waffle House Hotline. What did you do on your night off? Did you watch football? Do you take the missus out for date night? What do you do on a non-game night?
Date night would have been awesome, but we literally just hung out here at the house, me and the girls, and my wife loves football. We sat up here and watched the Central Fulton game that was being broadcast, and so we sat up here and just hung out and hung pictures and mirrors on the wall and talked about school that Lenny and Lizzie went through this week, and so just spent time as a family, just hanging out, having some downtime.
Well, again, I appreciate you cutting a few minutes out of your night to join us, and best of luck to you guys next week against Fulton. That's Matt Lowe, head football coach at Powell High School, and off to a 2-0 start. They went undefeated during the regular season last year, made it all the way to the state quarterfinals, and we'll see how this Powell offense continues to progress. I know they want to shore up some things defensively as well, as Anderson County really kind of gutted them there in the second half running the football with Gavin No. So we'll see how much of a jump they can make defensively, offensively from week 2 to week 3 and going forward in the rest of the season. All right, we're going to take another break. We're going to come back and look at some clips, some highlights from around the area, talk about last night's games, talk about tonight's games, and tomorrow's games. Full slate of games tomorrow as the weather push some of these games from tonight into Saturday. So stay with us right here on 5 Star Live.
Cooper Container, your corrugated packaging specialist for the East Tennessee area. Proud sponsor of high school sports in the 5 Star Preps coverage area.
Great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never question. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.
I think it's great. I mean, I love worshiping and learning about God and learning better ways to be a man of God.
There's no way that you can come here and your relationship with Jesus and not get stronger. It's just so powerful. The Holy Spirit is just so powerful at this camp.
I just feel like this is a lot more than just like people coming together and having fun. Like, it just helps people grow towards Christ.